Hi, my name's Paul Ryder and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV as we look back at the Arsenal game. It is the final word. Me, Ped, Baz, Matt Jones, and we are humbled to have Peter Cranfield here. He is Cutthroat Pete, if you know what that is. He's a celebrity barber. That's all you need to know. They are lit. It's like in like 20 years' time, they'll do like a Goodfellas film, and it'll just be like three barbers going round.
Could have cut my hair. I need a haircut. Just cut it live. Yeah. We'll do that next time.
He looks after some of the Everton players and Wayne Rooney. We'll be having a conversation with him a little bit later on how he's going to convince Wayne Rooney to come back. Basically by saying that he won't shave Kai's hair anymore if he doesn't come back to sign for us. Sounds good, doesn't it? Arsenal 2-1, Baz.
As I predicted.
Disappointing results.
Disappointing results, and a little bit of a predictable result, really. Far too predictable for my liking. Thought we might I didn't. I thought we'd get beat, but I was hoping that they might suffer a little bit of a hangover after the
game. We set up like we were going for it, Pete, you know what I mean? Delafeu playing.
Yeah.
Lennon playing. Brave move.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. It's a sad one, isn't it? I think we've had a part of the season where we've just been hit by some of the top teams and then a bit of a hard run in it. So. Yeah,
the injuries are starting to mount up as well, aren't they, Matt? You know what I mean? We were looking before, we were talking about injuries, and Jagielka's come up now injured, and it's getting ridiculous how many we've had this season.
The whole back foot.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But someone like Leighton Baines coming back will be a massive boost now. I mean, I know Galloway's done well, but not having Jagielka in that back four, and I know Funes Mori came into the team and did a good job again, but just his influence in the team this season, guiding people like Stones through games. He's been talking a lot with Galloway in matches, and that influence has been positive. But I think the match itself, I think there were signs Arsenal were suffering a bit of a hangover early on, and I know they had a lot more of the ball and they carved out a couple more half chances than we did, but I was never really worried in those 35 minutes that we didn't look like we were going to concede a goal immediately, and it was just I think Martinez said after the game it was 180 seconds of madness which cost us in the end, and that proved to be the case, and it was a strange performance really, because I thought in the second half, which has been the case a lot of times this season, when the opposition have scored a goal and we've kind of been forced into coming out and attacking them, we look good, and we look like we were going to, we did create chances in the second half, didn't we? We should have gone on the score sheet again, and that was the big disappointment for me, just that lack of ruthlessness in front of goal again, because otherwise we could have easily took a point from the match.
You mentioned it there, Pete, about the games we've played. I mean, do you think it's been a good start, considering the amount of games we've played against United, City, Chelsea? We've played everyone now, haven't we, really?
Yeah. I think the first couple of games of the season we looked really promising, I think Ross came into the season looking a lot more positive and a more mature than than last season. It hasn't been a terrible start, has it? I think hopefully now we've got a nice little decent run on our hands.
You say that. You say that, but then you go, hang on, Villa they get a new manager, Sunderland have got a new manager, West Ham actually they're good. I'm going to drive myself into it. We can't ignore the large American elephant in the room.
Dumbo.
Tim Howard. The secretary of... What is he the secretary of now?
He's not the secretary of the defence anymore. He can't be.
He can't be, no.
Maybe he should be Martin as a secretary.
Apparently he was on commentary duty.
I believe he was fantastic.
He was criticising De Gea's positioning
for
crosses. Yeah, he was being critical of David De Gea and the way he wasn't coming out for crosses.
Shows you that any commentator can say whatever they want.
Well, if we'd made this show on Saturday night, that save wouldn't be there, because I'd have my foot through it. I'd already tweeted out.
Says the man who's brought the Tim Howard mask in today.
I'd already tweeted out that I thought.
True story.
I thought
that'd be a surprise.
True story.
You ruined it. going to come on at the end going, it's okay, guys! In my Mickey Mouse voice.
I was going to say, he doesn't voice Mickey Mouse. Maybe he does. I don't know.
That's what kind of goal he is, anyway. You know, I'd already tweeted, basically, you know, I didn't have good feelings about his first few corners. And then when you seen the goals come in, the first one, I could only actually laugh at how you know, how bad it was. And then when the second one come in, it was just pure anger. Because it's not against Tim Howard. I don't want to get personally in and start going, you know, it's not like that. It's just, I've said this a few times, we've said this a few times. You get players that you love, or, you know, you don't ever want to see a player that you've loved become a figure of hate.
Yeah.
That, you know, that's a horrible thing to happen to any player, and I just think that Roberto Martinez needs to have a good look at this situation, because if he doesn't, it's going to get silly.
Yeah, I think like Matt said, the first kind of half an hour, the game was quite flat, and that suited us. We wanted it to be like that. We didn't want them to come all guns blazing in that opening 10 and do what they done to United. So, kind of 20 minutes in, I was thinking, like, you know, man, you were 3-0 down at this stage, so we've done okay, and there was nothing really happening. You know, both teams were kind of feeling each other out, and that ball's just floated into the box. Now, any keeper worth his salt is watching that come in. If it's fizzed in, it's a different thing, because you've got a decision to make, and any nick, you know, you can be caught out. But the way the ball's just tossed into the area, Jagielka probably should do better, but you're a keeper there. You just take everything out in front of you. He's jumping, he's, what is he, over 6 foot? Yeah. With his arms extended, he's what, 8.5 foot? You know, I'm pretty sure Giroud can't jump 9 foot. You know, he doesn't like jumping anyway in case he messes his hair up, Giroud, does he? You know, he has got a good haircut, which we'll comment on in a minute. But
we didn't bring him on to comment on his haircut.
I thought that's what you just to make references. Me and Matt will get a cane in, I'm sure. But you know, he could take them out there if he goes for the punch. If he ends up on the floor, the chances are the referee will blow the whistle anyway. And I don't know, he stayed rooted to his line, and I don't know what he was hoping to achieve, because he even sinks as if I think he's thinking, if they all miss it, I'll catch it, but it's in the 6-yard box, and I think he's got to take everyone out there. And the same with the second one. You know, we go 1-0 down, it's a joke of a goal, they get a boost, we're messing around with it, we give a free kick away, and then the still that all of us will have seen now when he's Superman on it, and the ball's here, and he's jumping here, and what he's trying to do is anticipate the ball going across for him to claim it, instead of blocking off that first zone of his near post, in which case he can go and attack the ball. He's jumping past it, and within 2 minutes you're 2-0 down, they're 2-0 up, and they haven't done anything. You know, and as an away side, you're thinking, well, we've made an okay start here, but 2-0 down against probably the best team in the country at the moment.
Well, you mentioned there, Ped, about the early free kicks and stuff, and if you look at our last few games, we've conceded 7 goals in the last 4 matches, and 4 of them have been headers inside the 6-yard box. And the way the game's analysed now, and the scrupulous detail that managers look into it, they're not going to look at matches and think, oh, you know, Tim Howard, he's all right, he's a good goalkeeper, which is what a lot of people do in the media, and what a lot of fans have done. You know, he's a good, solid keeper. They're going to look at these goals in detail, and you can see the targets in it. Arsenal, every corner was in that area early on. They were putting him under pressure early on. He was dwelling on the ball, and
this is Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly.
Total football, so
exactly.
We've got Sunderland coming up. And
there are facets of his game now which are becoming so detrimental to the team. And even before the 2 goals we conceded, he nearly kicked one straight to Giroud. He was holding on to the ball for too long, and I remember I've said this before, and we've got a lot of young players in that team, and there should be the likes of Jagielka, who I thought was really poor on the day as well, and he struggled against Manchester United. Players like him should be taking responsibility and showing the way for these young players by making decisive decisions, taking the pressure off the team, and in these big games away from home against Arsenal, at home against Manchester United. But he's doing the complete opposite at the moment, and it just a goalkeeper. I've seen people after the game saying, "Oh, he redeemed himself by making a few good saves in the second half." That's just complete nonsense in my book. Goalkeepers are held to different standards to every other player on the pitch. It's a completely different area, and he.
What saves did he? Please don't tell me that.
I'm not saying. No. I'm not saying that. No.
I'm saying because
tell us, Matt.
Tell us because the commentator
I thought he was just as bad in the second
The
half.
commentator made a comment about the save from Giroud in the second half that he hit into the floor. That was like a back pass. It went about half a mile an hour, and it was probably going wide. He pushed it wide, and you're like, that doesn't excuse for the fact that he's cost us, these 2 goals, and it's not. I want to love every Everton player. I want to love every Everton player. I grew up watching Neville Southall. No keeper's got anywhere near him ever since, but we've had decent ones like Nigel Martin. Well, no, Nigel Martin was brilliant, to be fair. And Tim Howard was being very good, but it's like the distant thing last year.
Yeah.
It gets to a stage where that's it. That's it now. And the gaps, once the gaps start appearing, the cracks start appearing, your manager's got to be strong by the plums and say, it's just my decision now, and he's costing us too many points. Like I've just said before, we've got Sunderland coming up, Sam Allardyce. That's what he loves. I don't think he's got another tactic other than bombard.
Yeah.
So they're going to come down to Goodison Sunday. If Howard's in goal Sunday, and everything is going to be dropped on him, the first 10-15 minutes, Fletcher's going to be in on him. And us as fans now, we're going to be nervy at me, and the defenders are going to have Funes Mori in because it's and you're going to be looking, thinking, we don't need to create any extra pressure for ourselves because we're on a poor run now. Liverpool, we didn't really play very well. Man United, we didn't play very well. Done okay on Saturday, but we've still come out the last 3 games with 1 point. So, Sunderland at home, if we're going to have a season where we're trying to challenge for those European spots, this is a must-win for me. And at the moment, everyone's confident. I mean, there's 4 of us here. Is anyone confident in Tim Howard at this moment? There's a little straw poll, 100%. No confidence.
We did a poll. We did a poll on the Twitter account, and it was. I think we've had over 1,200 people, and 87% said they'd like to see him dropped, which is quite damning. I think the Echo done one of theirs was about 86-87% as well. The major problem is people keep on saying Joel Robles. Now, Peter, I don't know what you think of Joel Robles. Do you think he could come in and do a job if he needs to?
I reckon so, yeah. I think he just needs to be given a chance. Last season, he looked well. I thought he looked really good when he was, given his chance then. So yeah, I think it's down to the gaffer. He's got to give him his chance and just maybe play him tomorrow,
He's definitely playing.
Yeah.
He's definitely playing against Norwich. I think that's a starting point, and we were talking about it earlier, weren't we? We were saying the biggest problem is though if he comes in tomorrow, he looks nervous, knowing it's his chance, and he doesn't necessarily grab it. Then the fans are going to say, "Well, he's not better than Tim Howard, and let's keep Tim out." And I don't think that's good for anyone.
You've got to give him a little.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, what point does it have to get to now?
Yeah.
Where you say someone else doesn't deserve a chance? If Lukaku was getting 3 or 4 clear, I mean, really clear-cut chances in a match and not scoring any of them, or even only, he would be off the team straight away. And it's the same with other players. And players either get played because they're in form, or they're struggling and they've got a good reputation, or out of sentiment. And at the moment, it seems like Howard is just getting played out of sentiment. And I've not got a problem. He's an unpopular player at the moment, and we slag him off quite a lot, and we do get really critical of him. But for me, this is the manager's fault now, because this is something that a lot of fans have been able to see for a while. It's not a blip in form. It's something that's been going on for almost 18 months now, and he has been a good goalkeeper for us, I think, all in all. But this is not a blip in form. He's 37 before the end of the season. We've seen the same thing with Distan, like you said, last season, and it's just nosedive recently. And Robles, if he comes in for the cup game and does struggle, it probably won't surprise me, because his Everton career so far has shown that he needs a few games to get up and running. But he might not be as good as Tim Howard was when he was at his best. But it's getting to a point now where you're thinking, this goalkeeper's costing us a couple of goals a game. How much worse does it have to get?
I think now we're at a situation where I think the crowd, judging on polls and judging by Twitter and other things, I think the crowd now are probably, I wouldn't say at the fill of Tim Howard, but they're probably thinking he needs to be out the side for a bit, whether it's to recharge his batteries, whether it's to refocus him, whether it's to just take him off the firing line. But I think the crowd may get behind Joel now, and this might be the first time where he would get in, where people say, like, let's give him a go. If Howard does his knee in training, for argument's sake, or his back or a hand, Joel's got to play anyway.
Yeah.
So You're spot on about Lukaku. If he's missing chance after chance, I want him off the side. I want him someone else to have a go while he gets his head together and gets back up. Same with the midfield player, same with the centre half. Goalies shouldn't be any different. People saying Joel isn't good enough or moaning, you know, yeah, we've seen this. What the kid's never really had a go. He's been in for a couple of games and out. He comes in for the Carling Cup or Capital One Cup game. You don't see him again because we normally go out of it. So he doesn't get another go for months. As a keeper, how do you get any burdens? You've got no relationship with your defenders yet. They train, but it's not the same. How does he work that up? He came in, like you said before, Pete, he came in at Christmas last year. Okay, he was shaky at Hull, you know, didn't have a great game at Newcastle, but then after that, he looked good. We went down to Palace, which was a must-win game. He kept a clean sheet. They were bombarding him, throwing everything at him. He kept a clean sheet against Liverpool in the derby. He was outstanding in that cup game.
The West Ham game, I thought he was brilliant. He made an early save, and that sort of settled him down. Yeah. And once he was settled down, he was fantastic, and he made some brilliant saves. The only thing that didn't really let him down, but he missed the penalty.
He missed the penalty.
If he'd scored that, he would have been a massive hero.
Anomaly though, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying.
But imagine he'd have smashed that in, and we'd have won. He put us through. Everyone, he'd have been an icon.
The other point of it, though, is he's sitting on the bench. The manager bought him and didn't buy another goalkeeper. He said last year, I'm going to go and buy another goalkeeper, and didn't buy another goalkeeper. So whose fault is this?
Remember when he was at Wigan and Al Habsi, who was playing really, or I thought he was a decent keeper at Wigan. He looked quite good, you know, he was big and imposing. And I remember he put Joel in towards the end of the season, and he won the FA. He ended up winning the FA Cup. So he dropped the keeper who was his so-called number one.
But he put him in for the FA Cup games, but then left them in.
Left them in, yeah, what I'm saying. So he got in at a time when Al Habsi was, everyone was saying he's a decent goalie, and you know, and he put him in, and he got in here, and then being back out, and it's a bit strange because like, when he put him back in last year, Howard went to Chelsea, didn't we? And it wasn't all his fault, but he should have done better with the goal in injury time, you know. And I just don't think he earned this place. I want my Everton side to be managed so that you have to be on the top of your game, because I think it encourages, if you're playing great, it encourages me to try and displace you then. And when I get in, I want the manager to treat me fairly because I'm playing well. If I'm not playing well and you're waiting to replace me, then I need replacing. And there shouldn't be anyone who gets a free pass, I don't think, because I don't think it's healthy. The same at Lukaku, McCarthy, Barkley, you know, Stones, any of them. Yeah, they're good footballers, but if they're not doing it, then you mix it up. That's what your squad's there for. Exactly.
You look, people on the periphery of the squad are probably looking at this situation and thinking, well, if a senior player is playing this poorly, and a younger lad who's come into the team and done well is not getting a go, what does that do for me? And then that affects everyone, doesn't it? Their morale's going to drop. They're not going to be quite as motivated to push on and try and earn a place in the team. And it sets a really dangerous precedent. Let me ask you this. There's nothing to do with Tim Howard, but Seamus Coleman's come back in the side. Now, with hindsight, should he have left Tyus Brown in him? Because we were on an unbeaten run. Tyus, I think, was getting better and better because he was just having to defend. Obviously, Seamus gives us a lot more. But, you know, was that argument there? Because Browning didn't really do anything wrong and has found himself out the side, and we've lost the two games Seamus has come back in for, we've lost. So I think you look at Coleman though, and he's been a solid performer for a while now, and someone like Howard, he's been really, really poor. Yeah, no, I just mean just take Howard out of it because I don't think anyone will argue with you on that. What I'm trying to say is the message I think has got to be right across the squad. So I don't think it would have done Seamus any harm when we had United at home to say, put your trackie on, sit here with me, because you know what, Browning's been decent there, and the minute. Then you're waiting for Ty to make a mistake, but the minute you know it doesn't kind of work the way we wanted to, you're back in. But he came back in from playing one game for Ireland, didn't he, Coleman? And he was straight back in, and Stones. And then I just think that you're torn, I think, between trying to put your best 11 out and trying to be fair to the lads who've done the business for you. But we've come through a tough amount of games. That's what a squad's there. Galloway, Browning playing, Funes Mori, you know, they were all a bit unlucky. Well, just been Tim Howard. Let's move on. Can't be honest. He got look. You know, we got back in the game with a goal. Can I just wrap this? Yeah, go on, wrap him up. I wish I could. I just think he's finished. Sorry, I just think he's finished. And we've seen this before. Players go very quick. Yeah. He hasn't. He's been going for about 3 years. I just think he's finished. Simple as that. Moving on. 2-0 down. Then.
Obviously, we get the deflected goal. We never get deflected goals, and we got one. Ross pops up after a fantastic pass by Jared Delafeu. It was absolutely amazing.
What I love is he got credited with an assist. With it was like a sixth, and I suppose the last Everton play to pass it to him.
Yeah.
But it wasn't quite an assist, was it? He gave it to him like about 50 yards from goal. But anyway, yeah.
But you sum up Ross Barkley before, and it's weird because some people said Saturday didn't have a good game, but I thought he had a good game. I thought he was good, and you were saying, for me, see, there you go. See, it's for me though. He's ambitious. He wants to take the ball and he wants to drive, and you can see him trying things. It doesn't always come off for him, but he tries things, and that for me has been the difference this season.
Yeah. It's good. I think it's he's going to make mistakes, isn't he? And I think he's just that type of player that he's, like you're saying earlier, is ambitious and he wants to be skillful, and I like seeing that. You know what I mean? When I'm
Especially his age.
Yeah.
Especially his age. I mean, he's young. I mean, come on.
I mean,
Give us the negative side of things.
It's not the negative side. You just said that you thought he had a good game. I don't think he did have a good game.
I
I judge him by his standards.
Yeah.
Ross Barkley, for me, I love him. He's absolutely marvellous. But on Saturday, I thought that, to be honest with you, I thought the game totally passed him by. I thought he tried to get in on the ball. He still, for me, passing it from me to you, he gives the ball away. So, and I'm like, where he putting us in the first half 3 times on the run, he tried to thread the ball through, and they ended up with an attack. And you're like you've tried it twice and it hasn't worked. Make sure. But what I love about him is he still drives with people. He still tries to do. He doesn't go hiding. But in terms of did he have a good game, in my opinion, no, because I judge him by much higher standards. He was okay. He got, he had a little go, but
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Ped on this one. I think Ross had a good game. It was I don't think early on you mentioned there those straight passes he gave away, but what I've liked about him this season is that even in games when he's made early errors and in previous games, those sorts of mistakes would see him drop his shoulders are slump, he'd go missing in games, he wouldn't want the ball as much, but I thought in the match at the Emirates he got better and better as the game went on, and again it was the young players really leading from the front. I thought Delafeu was superb in that second half. He was always after the ball, he was always committing men, and even though it always didn't come off, but there was always a couple of players, Arsenal doubled up on him, and it made space for others then.
He's another one, isn't he? People look at that performance on Saturday, probably misery guts Billy here, and go,
misery. This is, how's this flip? I'm like Mr. Positive last week. He was like, yeah, he'll say this because he's so positive. And I've just been called misery. Delafeu was boss. He was terrible in the first half.
Loads of people will say he was terrible, but actually he's another one. He commits players and he has a go, and he tries to take people on. It doesn't always work, but when it does, it's great. But you shouldn't want to stop that in people.
I didn't say Barkley was terrible. You said a good game. A good game for me is an 8 out of 10. I think he was probably a 6 out of 10. That's the thing. Okay. I think Thierry was a 7 out of 10. First half he was a 2 out of 10 because he just kept giving the ball away. But the second half, when he got his head down and went on those little runs, he was the only one they were terrified of,
And he should have scored though. He should have scored, and that's the difference between the two goalkeepers. One stands big, he's imposing. The players already.
He just out quickly as well, wasn't he?
And I think he's got that aura that you're not going to beat him.
No.
Where Howard at the moment's got the aura of he's going to fall down a hole or something. I'm not sure. He's got some
sinkholes.
And that's the difference. But second half, for me, I thought we should have got something. I thought we were great second half.
I thought we were going to. I think it was just one of them unlucky games. I think.
I just thought we were. It was annoying.
It just wasn't going right.
Yeah.
They showed good spirit, didn't they? And the way they.
Well, that's great. Good spirit.
Great spirit, yeah.
Great spirit.
Great personality. The manager. Martinez just walked in.
No,
great personality.
It's like I mentioned before. It seems as though when we're pushed into going for it, and we have to go for it, we're brilliant. And those times in that match when we're going for it, we had Morales came on. I thought he looked bright when he came on for the last few stages. Delafeu on one side, Lukaku buzzing around, Barkley picking the ball up and driving, and that you look at that and those 4 players bombing on, you think that if that clicks and we can get those sorts of players going regularly in a setup instead of changing your wingers every week, making little tweaks and just going and attacking teams a little bit more often, then we'd score a lot more goals and create a lot more chance.
That was the 4 from his first season.
Yeah,
they were the 4. They were the reason why we'd go to places like when we went down the Emirates in his first season, and we just took the game to them. They couldn't get the ball off us. We should have won that day. You know, we went and won at Old Trafford. It was having those four, they were the four, Delafeu with the pace, Morales, quick and bright, Brom on the end of it, Ross making it. It was almost a diamond four, isn't it?
Yeah.
That attack, you know, and letting the other two sit. I just think for me now the way we're going, I mean, Lukaku should have scored that header. It was a sitter. It was a sitter. He's a centre forward. He's a big lad. He should have buried it. But looking at it in terms of, for me, I'm fed up saying this to Matt before. I'm bored now with our formation. I'm bored with the fact that we just play with a centre forward who can't control the ball. We leave him isolated. This is a kid who would get 20 to 25 goals, no problem, with a partner or with lads around him. I feel sorry for him. We just make him look worse than he is as a player because we just leave him with three defenders swinging off him. And the two lads who are supposed to be supporting him either side are 20 yards further back. And we've got to make a decision. I think he's got to come to a decision here now with his midfield makeup. Barry's been great this season. He really has, a lot better than he was last year. But I don't know whether we always have to play him and McCarthy. I don't know whether James McCarthy needs to try and take a little bit of Gareth Barry's role and Ross can drop a little bit deeper. But I just think we need to mix something up because too many teams know what we're going to do, what we're about, and the best way to win games is to surprise people and mix it up a little bit.
We don't get enough men forward for me. I just think, you mentioned here, Lukaku gets isolated all the time. And we had two wingers in that first half and you never seen them, hardly any. And I just don't think we get enough men forward. And I think we're restricted by the two holding centre midfielders. And I think something's got it. For me, the worst thing was Saturday, there didn't seem any belief that we could win the game.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like at 2-1, suddenly someone went, actually, we can do this. But at 0-0, there was no belief that 0-0, it was like, contain.
I think probably when you go away to someone like Arsenal who are flat, I think they just the brilliance aren't they at the moment. They've just beaten Bayern Munich, who were fantastic. I think you say as an away manager, get through them opening 15-20 minutes. Don't let the crowd. But as players, once you pass that kind of period and you can see that they're not zipping it around as well as they normally do, you should then grow into that. And we had a couple of counter. I mean, John Stones misses a great chance at 0-0. He puts that one in. Then exactly sliced it, hasn't he? If he gets a decent
felt it wrong, man.
It'd have gone. Well, I think just gets a decent connection, he'd have scored, and then that might have made them their heads go a little bit because they feel a bit tired. And we might have grown a few foot and been able to keep the shape. But I just think we're definitely lately the last 3 games we're playing within us. We're playing like this cautious football, and like you said before, I don't think we need to. But I think what we need, and I said banged on about this last year, is we're going to get the best out of Lukaku. He needs a partner. We've seen it briefly last season when Coney went up front with him and we battered Newcastle at home. We looked good at QPR away. We've seen it against United when Coney come on and went alongside them. All of a sudden we had a few chances. Southampton this season away when I know he was wide but he was coming in field. West Brom when he went up there with him. Rob, as that partner, it enables him to do the things he's good at. Let the other fella take the knocks.
That's it. You look at that West Brom game, that last half hour, is probably the best we've played going forward all season in a spell. And even though he was on the pitch at the time, he brought Coney on, didn't he? But after the first goal. Yeah. But that first goal, I think what he's mentioned, that Naismith was bombing into the box, and then he was allowed to isolate someone then, Lukaku, and then again, the second goal, isolating a defender, playing a pass forward, and the third goal was exactly the same. And our two best attacking assets are Lukaku and Ross Barkley, and we've got to do something to ensure we get the best out of them, not inhibit them in the performance. And I think if Barkley has played a little bit deeper, give him a bit more responsibility, something he's shown this season that he's
get the
relishing.
Shackles off.
Yeah,
take
so
the
he can
shackles
pick the ball
off
up, he can drive forward.
What about this? What about Barkley dropping back in alongside McCarthy? Right, keeping Delafeu one side, and maybe cleverly if he wants to try and be. If he's worried about, he doesn't want to overcommit. I'd have Morales there personally, or Lennon just for the legs, and then play Naismith back where he was decent. If you're gonna want someone who can go up alongside Ron, Naismith doesn't really track back. That's a problem with him, but he might do it a bit more than Ross. He might have a bit more, responsibility to try and get in. He's better down the middle, Stephen Naismith, and I'd tell you what, I'd still back him more than any other player given a one-on-one. And more than Lukaku, because I think he hits the target more than he misses it. Naismith. It's just that when you shunt from wide left, he ain't got the legs to do it, and he's wasted. You know what I mean?
Get Pienaar in there.
Well, he's coming back, isn't he, Stephen? Look, I would be quite happy to see him coming with 20 minutes to go, coming on and just getting his foot on the ball and giving us a little bit of magic. And I love the way he does that little roll over, stands on the ball and sends them for a pie. I love it.
It's an ideal time to do it as well, I think. Just refresh it, and everyone going into the ground with these games coming up now, and you look at that Sunderland game and you think, oh, if one kick off, they're going to pack.
You know
pack
what
the defence, and it's going to be a nervous atmosphere.
Can you believe that they've won the last 2 years at Goodison? They had years without winning, and they've back to back.
But I mean, like if people go into that game then and you're seeing, oh, we're playing a dead attacking team here, we're going to go at these, it'll give everyone a lift. And we've won one game at home this season out of 5, and we were talking before when we think it's 1 in 7 or 8, which we've won at home. We need to go and attack teams at home, get on the front foot, push people up the pitch, stop them from playing out.
Give the crowd something to cheer. People go a bit quiet, and it works both ways, doesn't it? But the players have got to give you something to get on the edge of your seat about.
You can look at the season, you can say, right, we've got 13 points in these 10 games. That's not a bad return.
The same as last year.
But look at the teams we played. Some people say it's good, some people say it wasn't. But now we've got to go at teams, and it'd be a good time to say, maybe just freshen things up, give a few players a chance, mix the system up, give young players like Barkley a little more responsibility, because they've shown already this season that they can handle it, and they're ready to step up.
Give Gareth Barry a rest. I know he's suspended against Norwich, but he's been playing really well. Let's not burn him out. He said to us in that interview that he didn't want to use him as much as he did last season. Well, now's a chance to mix it up. And you're right, we've got to that. We might only have the same as what we had last year, but we're going into a run of games where we're only 4 or 5 points off the European places. So this next section, now we win a few games, it might not be a bad start.
Right, I think I'm bored talking about this game now, because it was rubbish.
Let me say this then, before, just about Howard and about Martinez, and you mentioned it before, he's the manager. It's his decision at the end of the day, isn't it? Unless Tim Howard's got written into his contract by Obama or something that he's got to pay. I don't know. But we had Derek Mountfield on last week, and we were talking about, obviously, Howard Kendall, who passed away last week, the greatest manager ever the club's ever had. And I was saying to Matt before, he made big, Steve Pienaar texted him, he made big decisions at big times. Everton won the FA Cup, John Bailey was left back, he replaced Bailey with Van der Now, we won the league, Andy Gray was an idol for the Evertonians, all the goals. He replaced them at the end of the season. We were all scratching our heads, brought Lineker in, and then he replaced Derek Mountfield, who we had on last week, with Dave Watson at a time, and everyone was like, he's amazing. What is he doing, Kendall? We won the league. He's a manager that knew when to replace players, and even if the fans couldn't see it, he would look and go, like, now's the time. Alex Ferguson, Japstam, Beckham, Van Nistelrooy, all these players at a time, and everyone else was be like,
gotta be ruthless.
Why are you getting rid of them? You do it, don't you? Have to go, look, ruthless. You have to do it. And I think we done it with this, Dan. Probably done it a little bit too long with Ozzy as well, in terms of being a first teamer. You've got to make these changes.
Got to be ruthless.
That's,
do it now, Roberto.
Or at least kick him up the backside, so that he has to work doubly hard to get back in.
Drop him, bring him back if he needs to be. Right, Pete. Barber to the stars. So we wanted to have a little chat with you. Obviously, you've got a Barbers in Liverpool, appointments only. No chance.
I'm going straight there after this. Get mine.
You've got no translation abroad. And you cut like the likes of John Stones, Ross Barkley, Wayne Rooney's one of your clients. I mean, how did that fall? How did you wangle that?
It was just by accident, really. It was I started cutting Wayne's hair.
You don't tell me you just walked in one day. Come on.
Through Colleen's brothers, they like put him in touch with me, and they're customers of mine anyway. So it was just like a recommendation. And then Ross started coming when he was young. I think he's been doing his hair a couple of years now, so he must have been old 17, something like that. And James Wallace, he put them onto me. He started the ball rolling, like so. But and then Ross has just recommended the new lads that come in: Stonesy, James McCarthy, and then Luke Garbett, and like they all come in the shop now every week. You know what I mean? Pre-match haircuts and
right, and you've been down to St James's Park as well. St George's Park, the England to go. So you just get the phone call and they go, "Listen, we need a haircut," and you just come down.
Yeah. That's how it works. Yeah, it's spot on, mate. I'm living the dream, I'm seeing the lads every week. They're hanging out with them in the shop, and it's amazing. And
being a barber is like the new rock and roll, isn't it? It is though, isn't it? It's like I've seen some. It's like it's like I've seen some of like your Instagram and stuff and other people's stuff, and it's like, oh, we've got a guest barber in this. A guest barber?
That's amazing.
A guest barber?
Well, that's what you introduced them as, superstar.
I know, but like, what I'm saying, what we
Can't now undo your introduction.
no. But I'm saying we live in a world now where we have guest barbers.
It's amazing.
That's
Mate, can you cut it?
No, I'm not criticising. I'm just saying
We've
we've gone on metrosexual.
It's amazing. I'm just next time book him. I'm just not gonna get me hair and come in and get it done live on the camera.
Do you do foils?
Yeah. Can you give me some darkness back in me hair?
Just for men.
Well, just the one that you should do.
But it's
Phil
like,
Neville will be sound.
It's properly like.
that wouldn't mean that.
But it's like properly barbering now is like the new rock and roll. What's how's that happened?
It's mad. Fads come and go, don't they? Like the tattooing was massive a couple of years ago, you know, with Miami.
You don't say.
all the shows based around that, and now in America especially, you know, there's television programs based on barbering and stuff. So it's just kind of.
Can we come down and film you in your shop?
Yeah.
Film a haircut.
And then blag a haircut. You're not getting one.
I need one, but we'll have to make an appointment.
So I mean, it is though. I feel like something's come out of me recently where I'm like, making sure my hair's but it is. We've all men have suddenly become very, very vain, haven't we?
What are you looking at me for? I haven't got the beard and the comb over.
No, I love it though. I think it's great.
It's great. It's exciting for me as a business owner.
Definitely.
But it's.
So like as an Evertonian, and then the players are coming in. Is it a bit mad?
Yeah. It's. I don't know, it's mind blowing. I still can't get my head around it now. Do you know what I mean? I see the lads every week before the game, and I was saying to someone the other day, when I was a kid, I always used to wonder what Everton players did. You know, when they weren't in training or when they weren't playing a game, we used to think, how could they ever bump into an Everton player? Do you know what I mean? Where did they go over day? And
now you know, they go to barbers.
Yeah, that's it.
If you have a bad game the week before, give them a rubbish court.
Sweeney Todd,
Make sure you have a better game.
I wonder what you got to say, Matt.
It's funny because we had Tony Bellew last week and we were talking to him, and it's a shame that he's like started off as a boxer and he's like the best bit about it is now like mingling with Everton players. Yeah. It's like everything converges into the one thing, which is just about Everton. So
did he say to you, like, when he sit down and say, have you been busy? Are you like,
well, that's taxi drivers.
Where'd you go on holiday? Where'd you go on holiday this year? Doing anything special this weekend? Scoring the winner in the derby?
The mad thing is, I say to the lads, like the footy lads, I see them more than I see my family or, than my mates, because I see them all, like, obviously once a week, so.
Once a week? Who comes in once a week?
Footballers. Footballers do.
Loads of clients come in once a week for either a shave.
No wonder I can't get an appointment if they're coming in once a week.
It's amazing. Once a week.
And do you offer the? This is going to sound wrong. This isn't it. Do you offer the other services? Like you'll get the loads of them now are doing like some of them have bars and all kinds.
Please
of them
talk about the other services.
Bars. Some barbers have bars now,
clear,
and they have like a fella doing the cocktails.
We've got I do beers and whiskey and coffee and all that. Yeah. So.
Can we do our Christmas special? Barbers.
Go sit in the barber.
This could be a new angle.
Bet you've got better tea than we could offer you, though.
This could be like a new angle for the show. He could be cutting their hair, and we could be interviewing them. They could be called like the Barbershop show.
We're not singing.
No, that's the Barbershop show quartet. That's a different one.
That's what we're doing a different time.
That's
only if he has a Christmas. You'd have a Christmas tree in your shop.
Yeah.
All right.
And you've obviously got a shop in Liverpool, and you're opening another shop now.
Yeah. Just about 10-minute walk away from the shop where I am at the moment. I'm opening another one. It's going to be 2 barbers in that shop. In my shop there's only me, so it's like a little private, like studio kind of space. So.
So he wants us to come in and film something.
Yeah.
He's saying that now.
It would be a great setup to come and film in there,
I did mention that. I mentioned that before, didn't I, Pete? Missed that.
Right,
someone says it and I'll take the credit. Yeah. That's what he is. You know what he is? He's one of them. You do all the hard work, Delafay. He goes round the keeper, rolls, and he runs and slides, puts it in on the line, runs away.
I'm just like that's a Jake. The plan work. The plan
that haircut. He'll need about 3 weeks to sort that out.
No, it is the new rock and roll though, and fair play.
Where is your shop? Just for anyone who wants to.
But he can't tell you because, and I've seen this.
Oh, okay.
The amount of people who walk in and go.
Oh, okay.
It's in town.
He might want to plug it.
I don't know. Just off Walsall Square. Like
and he is the Cutthroat Pete on Twitter.
I'm slightly terrified.
And he's got all his merchandise, his t-shirts, and he does his own hair stuff and all that.
Yeah.
It's mate.
It's amazing.
Yeah, he'll have to definitely come in.
We will. I'm not saying how much I paid for my last haircut, and it's definitely not worth it. So yeah.
I can't even remember when I had the last day.
£27
I'm
for a good tipper.
just wondering what foils I'm getting. I'll be honest.
I can't wait.
Just bringing a picture of Phil Neville, like you said. I want it like that.
I used to love that. Phil Neville was about 35.
What we're going to do is
really
we're
blonde.
get you in the chair. We're going to play Beauty School Dropout from Greece.
Frankie Valli there, just giving it the big one.
It's going to be boss. I can't wait.
Don't they end up with like pink hair or something? I don't want pink hair. You'd suit the pink hair.
Oh, yeah.
You would.
I like a bit of, I love a bit of pink. I went to see it in concert. Honestly, God, people have got dirty minds in here, right?
I never said a word.
Cutthroat Pete on Twitter. Make sure you go follow him. Bug him for an appointment. You won't get one because he does famous people and you're not, so unlucky. Right?
He actually does. He cuts Chris Mason's hair. Oh, well, he knows Chris Mason. Another famous person.
What the famous, soon to be very, very famous actor.
Very famous.
That you went to London last week to interview. That will be available soon on Toffee TV.
That's Chris Mason.
Yeah,
Who else?
Can
you give us any other ones? Or do you not really want to give your list out?
Who famous people?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Now and again I'll get called out if there's any acts on in Liverpool, or I do like hotel calls. And
did you do any, like, because last week we had like Eddie Redmond in town, we had Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, Mickey Donovan, that's not his real name obviously, but Mickey Donovan, any of them?
Oh, when Chris Mason was up filming in Liverpool, you know, as part of this new film, him and Example, you know, the musician, they came in and got the haircut and them a little tidy for the
Ringer, for example, isn't he?
Some of the stuff people say I look like on the comments, unbelievable.
That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one.
It's a good film. It's a good film.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Not dying, but you know.
Looking forward to it.
You haven't seen it. So
I haven't seen it, no.
And he has his Everton shirt on.
I'm waiting for the producer to send me a copy of it.
Oh, just behave. Support the local lad like I did. You.
Yeah.
But did you cut any of the dark side? Have you cut any of there?
No.
Oh, that will be
Look at his shit.
Made up.
Not a chance.
Some stick on Twitter over there actually.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you will do if people get older.
Ask him why.
Let me. What about Wayne then? Does he ever sit there when you're going through that long haircut and go, you know what, I'm coming back?
Do you know what? I'd love to see him back.
Yeah.
I really would. He'd be unbelievable. I think like you were saying before, I think he'd totally change things at the club. He'd create a lot more interest and a lot more positive interest, I think.
He's still a blue, isn't he? I mean, he's still a blue.
Yeah.
So does he come to you, or do you go to him?
Both. Either really.
Does he talk about Everton? Does he ever talk about Everton?
He signed the contract.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, does he ever generally talk about Everton?
Do you know what? I try not to talk about footy with the footy lad, just because it's like me going somewhere and someone asking me
about your hair.
As if like you'd gone on like
It
a
happens to
TV
me all the time.
thing,
People come up to me and they go, Ped, what about those taxi fares? Have you been busy? That kind of
I bet
thing.
you get that all
I
the
get
time.
that all the time. That's like me fantasy jamming time.
Imagine you like, someone asked you to go and do like a little telly thing and just talk about taxis. Like, imagine that.
What, like bringing someone on to talk about cutting hair?
What we've just said.
No, I want to see him back.
Yeah, we all want to see him back. We all want to see him back. And he's coming back. And we'll get loads of stick, because we get loads of stick, because we do love Wayne loads, and we get loads of stick for it.
The testimonial was great though, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
Testimonial.
It was absolutely brilliant.
The atmosphere was brilliant.
And he's playing terrible on purpose so he can come back.
So
Right.
we only have to pay £7 for him.
The fellow over there with the bad haircut screaming at us, right, to get this show done. So, anyway, let's move on. Thanks very much to everyone for watching us. I know it's hard when we get beat. That's why we wanted to have a conversation with celebrity barbers, to be honest with you. Don't forget, leave your comments below. Give us a big thumbs up as well. Subscribe if you haven't already.
Why haven't you?
Yeah, make sure you subscribe up there. Leave your comments. Big thanks for Pete. Big thanks for Matt. The one-armed man here as well. We'll be back soon on
Ginger Prince.
Thanks for having me, by the way.
No worries, mate. And I'm glad you said Prince.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon on Toffee TV.